MotoGP witnessed one of its craziest races this Sunday. Prior to the race start, it looked like it would be a flag-to-flag race, only for the first 20 laps to remain dry. However, it started raining towards the final third of the race, and with just 4 laps to go, it started to really pour. Everyone in the lead group decided to enter the pit lane and swap bikes, but KTM's Brad Binder took the gamble and stayed out, and went on to win an astounding race. He has now looked back at his race-winning gamble while speaking to the media after the race. I'm your host Dillon Shelley, and first up on Moto World, how Brad Binder survived a wet track on slick tyres. Brad Binder had been on a 21 race streak without a podium prior to this victory. Binder began by speaking about this. I went to bed last night thinking all I want today is a podium. It's been so long. It's been the longest stretch of time in I don't know how many years since I was on the podium. I've been close a few times and had a few 4th places, but haven't been back. He then revealed that he was having a pretty ordinary race up until it started raining. To be honest, I was having a horrendous race before I decided to stay out and everyone else came in. The rear tyre was like nothing I've had all weekend. Every time I tried braking, it would just slide everywhere. I'd open the throttle and just wouldn't go forward. He then explained how he was in 2 minds when the rain came. I was having a huge struggle out there, but when I saw it starting to rain, I closed up onto the front group and was thinking there's just 4 laps to go. I could see the guys getting ready to go in, because I saw Mark look behind him and I couldn't decide whether I should go or not. He then spoke about the 3 laps he rode on a wet track with slick tyres. I just decided in the last moment when I saw the group pull into the pits to just try. The first lap was good, but the last 2 were something else. The last lap the brakes went completely cold and so did the tyres. It was like riding on ice in some corners. I really struggled to stay on track. The last lap, I didn't race, I survived. He signed off by expressing his happiness. But anyway, sometimes you have to take the gamble, and today it worked. I'm super happy about that. But you know what? I would happily have crashed giving it a go. Achieving this at the home of Red Bull and KTM is crazy. Fast feed. Yamaha's Maverick Viñales is very sad because it's a very strange situation. It's really hard to be in this situation right now, and he's lucky to have people who are there for him at this very hard time. There was an explosion inside me that I couldn't channel properly. I apologize to Yamaha because I rode in the wrong way in the last laps, so I want to apologize to everybody, Viñales added. Being suspended from the Austrian Grand Prix was Yamaha's decision, which I respect and accept because I am still a Yamaha rider. For Petronas Yamaha's Valentino Rossi, it was an unbelievable race, because the crossing point between the guys that remained with the slicks and us guys that changed to wets came in the last 3 corners, so it was very exciting. He decided not to stop because there was just 5 laps remaining, and it was the right choice because he improved his position. He pointed out that at a certain point he was also on the podium position, so it was quite exciting, but the last 2 laps were difficult because they had more rain. Pramac's Jorge Martin feels that if he has to explain this race, he will stay here for 1 month. When it was really wet, I saw Marc Marquez and Pecco go through the pits, and I say, okay, it's time to try. I was so nervous in the flag-to-flag change, I almost crashed, and I hope my team is okay, because I think one of the mechanics had a bit of pain. Even with the wet, it was difficult. When I started the last lap, I was P11, and I say I destroyed my race. Then I arrived at the group in corner 7 and I passed 6 or 7 riders in just 2 corners. It was a bit difficult to avoid all of them, but when I crossed the finish line in the podium position, I was so happy, even more than last week, Martin concluded. Championship leader Fabio Quartararo has explained that it's the first time this year that he was thinking a little bit about the championship when he entered the pits to swap bikes. Yeah, it was the moment to think about the championship. They arrived to Austria with a 34-point lead at this track. They leave with 47. He further pointed out that it's 7 or 8 races remaining, so he's taking it race by race, and the next one, Silverstone, is one of his favourites. Ducati's Pecco Bagnaia is happy with the Austrian Grand Prix, and they got the maximum possible. It was a difficult choice to change the bike, but it was the correct one, because Brad was incredible in the wet conditions on the slicks. He was so far in front, and it was incredible what he did. But it's good to finish as the first of the riders on wets. I know our first victory is coming. We deserve it for the work we are doing, Pecco surmised. Was it the right decision for riders like Pecco Bagnaia and Joan Mir to swap bikes with just a few laps to go? Head over to my community page to vote in the poll and let me know what you think in the comments. And if you liked this video, feel free to subscribe and check out my others for all the latest in the world of MotoGP.